You're late. Though I suppose that's nothing new. True, I'm not always on time, but, well, the things I say make it worth it. You, on the other hand, well, let's just say I prefer to see it as the rest of the protocol, simply being unnecessarily early. You, though, Fractal, you are most definitely late. Now then, I assume that drink in your hand is for me? Well, I suppose you aren't entirely useless then. Hand it over. Not bad. You're getting better at this. Of course, there was little elsewhere to go but up from your first attempt. I don't think I've ever had coffee that was more grounds than liquid. I'm messing with you. Even I can have a sense of humor when the moment is right. More importantly, did you try the gear I sent you? And how did it fit? Good is not an adequate descriptor. I know you've never been the most verbose of the protocol's members, but surely even you can come up with something less inadequate than good. Fine. The greatest concern is the fit of the mask. It must be airtight. No little gaps, unless you're looking to perish slowly and painfully. Someone has been doing their homework. Yes, my poison will be eventually absorbed through the skin. However, you should be all right, assuming you aren't taking on additional damage. If you breathe it in, though, well, let's just say it'll take a little more than CPR to bring you back. Don't tell me you actually think that. No. You could not simply hold your breath. Even if you could, it would only be a matter of time before you'd forget, and you'd open your mouth to spout something asinine. And then where would we be? You, dead. And me, having to drag your corpse back to whatever hovercraft brought us there. Have you ever moved a corpse, Fractal? They're very cumbersome. Not to mention they smell. I prefer my specimens jar-sized. You're not incorrect. A suit like this is an absolute pain in the ass to design. Mine keeps the poison in. Yours, well, that's a matter of reverse engineering. Oh, God. Don't be so childish. It's not about us matching. It's a matter of survival. Understood? Sometimes it really does feel like your only goal is to test my ever-thinning patience. Did you bring the mask with you at least? If you can't be descriptive, the very least you can do is let me take a look. Like I said, good is not the word I would use. See? There's gaps all around the edge. And now I can see why. You've buckled it completely incorrectly. Must I do everything? I suppose they say when you want something done right, you just have to do it yourself. Come here. And why don't you let me fix it before you accidentally manage to asphyxiate yourself? Brimstone would never let me hear the end of that. Pay attention. I'm not going to do this for you before every mission. Understood? The mask latches into the suit. Ensure the fit of the suit is smooth, or else you choke and die. Simple to remember, right? Even for someone like you. Even pressure. And if they don't, there's buckles on the side for manual use. See? Fits better when you put it on properly. Yes, the fog is annoying, but it won't be an issue once the respiratory system is attached. It's easier to construct the facial molding without all that tubing. That looks adequate. What? You weren't expecting something more complimentary, were you? Surely you know by now. I'm not in the business of giving out pats on the head just because you can tie your own shoelaces. Huh? Why make you a suit? You are correct. As I said, after our last mission, you were placed in the field far too quickly for my taste. Even so, I'm not the one who makes that call. Nor do I wish to be. If Brim says you're ready, you're ready. So, you will be going back into the field, but not without me. Clearly it's necessary for someone to keep an eye on you. Hence the suit. Last thing we need is for you to wind up dead just because you got in the way. I know, not the most romantic of sentiments, but then again, by now even you should know better. Yes, you can take it off. The system is temperature regulating, but that hasn't been installed yet either. Give me a week. It'll be completed. Next item on the agenda. Of course I made an agenda for this meeting. Otherwise you'd waste all my time blathering. Next. Color. Do you have a color preference? KJ is fabricating the materials, so your decision-making process will need to be swift, but green. Fractal, is it really... Green is your favorite color? Of course it is. Always has been. Do you really expect me to believe that? Fine, so you want green. Be more specific. There are an infinite number of shades. You want to match. This is why I don't do things for other people. It fills them with foolish delusion. How delightful. So, we'll be matching then. I can only imagine the rest of the task force will be mature about your decision. Just because I think your choice is idiotic doesn't mean I won't hold up my end of a bargain. I said choose a color. You did. Oh, don't look so pleased with yourself. It's sickening. Really, do I want another coffee? Are you really trying to win me over with caffeine? Well, I guess you can teach a stray new tricks. Maybe this will work out. I have always been fond of creatures who know how to play fetch. Well, go on and hurry back. Since you wanted to match so terribly, I guess you're going to need some boots, right? Don't you think? Hop to it, Fractal. My love isn't gonna buy itself. You have become an idiot, Sabine. An absolute idiot.